besties, my name is Charlotte. If you are new here, if you are not, welcome back. It has been so long since I last posted, so if you have come back, I'm so happy to have you. I'm also happy to have you if you're new here, but let's just jump straight into things because today, as you will have seen by the title, we are upgrading the book setup, which is something I've been wanting to do for so long. I feel like it's becoming more and more needed. You know, so many hardbacks are coming out and the two shelves I have over here do not have the space for hardbacks. I only have one shelf that actually has room for hardbacks, so it's been needed. So today we are upgrading. The plan is I have ordered like a tall bookshelf from Argos that is going to now live here where these two are, and then my TBR cut is going to go here next to it. And then these two shelves are going to go in the other corner of my room where my TBR cart and I have like a mid-sized shelf currently is. The mid-sized shelf is going to be saying farewell. She just doesn't really fit in the room anymore and it is a little bit damaged, and it makes much more sense for me to get the big one and keep these two, and then these ones will be the ones I might get another one of eventually if I ever need to increase, because I feel like I could probably fit another one of these in that corner as well, but hopefully not, because if I fill up that, then there will be no more room for any books. So yeah, but that is the plan. So I need to go and get some food. My bookshelf is meant to be coming between 5:30 and 7:30. I think it's like 5:45 now, so it's like it's coming soon basically. But I'm gonna go and get something to eat, and then when I come back I'm gonna start by basically getting everything off all of the shelves so everything can get moved around. I'm hoping maybe to do to put the new shelf up as well this evening, and then do all of the putting things on tomorrow, I think. Because otherwise, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like sometimes with bookshelf stuff, it just goes on for so long and then you just get bored and you're like, why on earth did I ever do this? So I'm thinking if I bring it out over a few days, because the one over there that I'm getting rid of is also like a really big storage shelf for me at the moment. So I kind of want to figure out as in on top is where I keep like my perfumes. I've got some fake tans, so I want to figure out where that stuff is going to go. And then on the top of this one I also keep like my jewellery and like hair ties because it's close to my mirror. So I want to figure out a place for all of that stuff before we do like the books, because I don't think they will be on shelves again. I think they will be like on top of my dresser. So yeah, there's some general like room upkeep, moving around stuff that happens with the books moving around. But yeah, I need to eat first because I am so hungry. Okay, so it is actually the next day now, and as we can see, I haven't unloaded my shelves. So I got food and then I remembered that Americano was playing Sabalenka in Wimbledon. I was like, I need to watch this. So the bookshelves took a bit of a back seat, but this morning, today, that is the one plan of the day, is to get everything sorted. My dad is going to help me with putting the big bookshelf up, but he's at golf right now, so I'm going to work on unloading everything. I'm going to move these ones over, and then once the big one is up I'm going to put books on everything all together. But I think whilst I wait and after I've unloaded all of this, I am going to reorganise my TBR cart just to make it like a little bit more, I don't know, just to optimise it, I guess. Like I just want to reorganise it a little bit. I think I want to move the shelf that my fantasy stuff is on and just put things that I'm not reaching for as much a little bit lower down, I think, which maybe is counterintuitive, but we're gonna see. bookcase is officially up, which is so exciting. It feels so strange like having a giant one because I've just never had a big one. The first two shelves can only fit paperbacks, but all the rest can fit hardbacks, which is so ideal because that is exactly what I need it for. So they're excited about that. The two little ones are in the corner, so I am gonna just start bringing books in now and figuring out where I want them. My plan is for most of this to be kind of like my favourite books and displaying books, which works well because a lot of those, like either authors that I want to display, like I have hardback copies of, or like they're all hardbacks, or like Magnolia Park's books, they're taller, and then the other books by Jess Hastings are hardback, so that kind of all works itself out fairly well. But yeah, I think I'm just going to bring everything in again now because I had to take all the books out and put them in the spare room so that we could build the shelf up so there was room. I'm going to try and do case by case just so it's easiest to film and everything. I'm going to put some booktube on, I think, and we're just going to crack on, and it's going to take as long as it takes. Okay, so all of the shelves are pretty much done in terms of like, oh, that's my TBR. I was like, all of the shelves are pretty much done. Look down, saw loads of books on my floor, forgotten that I'd literally just taken a load of books off of my TBR cart. I was like, hang on, how did I miss all of that? Anyway, all of my shelves are pretty much done in terms of there are books on. I've put a couple of different decorations on here, but not really. I'm just going to do my TBR cart. I just took all the books off to move it, and I'm just going to rearrange it in a way that feels a little bit more like intuitive, because at the moment I've just been like sliding books into the gaps, and I've done a lot of book shopping recently, so I'm going to just try and fill it up again in a way that works a little bit better. And then it comes time to put like plants and stuff on. I think I might need to get some more plants to fill everything, to be honest, because I would quite like plants on top of this shelf, but then I need some stuff to fit on those shelves, although maybe candles will go on those. I don't really know. We're gonna have to just figure it out and then potentially try and get some plants at some point. I don't think I'll go out today and get some, so we'll just see how it's looking at the end of the day. But yeah, right now it's just more stacking books, but this time into the TBR cart. I've got Emmy's upload on, so yeah, just enjoying some book vlogs. This is definitely taking me a long time. I've needed to do like so many breaks because my brain was just like, I can't anymore. But yeah, we're gonna keep powering through. it is the next day. The shelves are finally done. I did finish them yesterday, but I wanted to sit with them before I showed you, so I thought I'd do like a little bit of a tour, just talking you through like what I've done and why I chose to do it that way. I'm not going to go through like every single book, just because like I think I did do a bookshelf tour at the end of last year, and to be honest it's not like too dissimilar, I don't think, to how it was then, like in terms of the actual books I have. Do you know what I mean? Let's just jump straight into it. So over here I obviously have my two smaller shelves. Again, I used to have these like this, oh my god, ages ago now, like a year and a half ago nearly, and I love it. I love having like this little reading corner with my chair. I think it makes it so cozy. But on one side I have basically all of my fantasy, then underneath I have like kind of crime books. But yeah, I have, this is all YA fantasy on the top shelf, and then we have my Sarah J Maas on the bottom shelf. I don't think I'm going to read Crescent City, to be honest, so I don't think that collection is going to be expanding, so that is the right amount of space basically. And then over on this shelf we have my romance, where I have like multiple authors, like 3 books or more. Oh no, there's some I only have 2, but I just like multiple authors where I have a few of their books, or like I just thought they worked together, like series. Or so we've got the Windy City series, we've got like the Icebreaker series, and then I've just put my Hannah Bonham Young books, and then my Ashley Postons, because I would actually like to read her other 2 books as well, although I don't have them. We have my shoe covers of the Magnolia Park series, and then just some standalone romances, followed by my Binding and Keeping 13. And then the bottom shelf we have some classics and more kind of like literary fiction, general fictions, that kind of, there's some historical fictions, just that kind of vein. Okay, I think it's a little bit hard to see because I have to put the camera like really far away to stand in front of these shelves, because this is my bed. So I tried to put the camera on my bed and it was like falling over, so we need to figure out a plan with that. But yeah, this is the tall bookshelf. So on top you can't see, but right now I just have one plant, like a candle, and then like a little lamp, and I've ordered a trailing plant to come down here just to add a little bit of colour, because it was looking like very plain in this corner, to be honest. And up here I have my adult fantasy paperback. So obviously the shelf in the corner is like my YA, more so paperbacks, and then here will be where all of my adult paperbacks go, because I'm definitely not reading as much like YA fantasy anymore. Like I've kind of reached a point with it where I'm like, okay, like I just don't really vibe with this as much, so the shelf will be getting filled up. So I've just got kind of mainly duologies, a couple standalones, and I haven't read The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King yet, or The Songbird and the Heart of Stone, but I was like, do you know what, it's a series, it can just go straight on the shelves. I've already read The Serpent and the Wings of Night, so that is fine. And then we have my cowboy romance shelf, so it's mainly Elsie Silver at the moment, and then we have the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I am just about to start Alive and Wells, which is another cowboy romance series, so once I get those in we will be adding those to this shelf. But yeah, I just love cowboy romances and I wanted to kind of have them all together like that. At the moment I have just like this like rose quartz bookshelf thing, but I would really like to get some kind of like small cowboy boot to put on this shelf, maybe something like a teeny tiny, like one of the matchstick holders or something to put on top of the Chestnut Spring series, but like just something kind of fun and cowboy-y. Coming down to the next shelf we have my Jessa Hastings collection. So Never is still on my TBR, but this will be joining when I finally get to it. She has a new release coming out which I need to pre-order. So yeah, I just thought I would keep my Mag Parks, and then I've turned the Conditions of Will out because I'm just obsessed with that cover. Like it is so beautiful, and I just think having hardbacks turned out works a little bit better than the paperbacks, especially these, because they are like pretty floppy paperbacks. So but yeah, they are all, and they're also so beautiful. Like at one point I was debating like having them all displayed out, and I was like, I don't want to lose a whole shelf to that. Anyway, we then have my Emily Henry over here, which is kind of annoying because the first 3 books are paperbacks, and I am trying to like have them pulled out a little bit further so they're kind of like in line with the hardbacks. But yeah, they're not ones that I'm like so mad about, or I'm like, I'm just gonna buy the hardback. Like, so for Belladonna I only had the paperback and I have now ordered the hardback. I was like, okay, now I actually have space for hardbacks, like I'm just gonna do it. So yeah, that brings me to our next shelf, which at the moment is just all of my fantasy hardbacks. So it's not split between YA an adult. However, I want to get the hardbacks of the Hunger Games series because I don't actually have the Hunger Games physical book, so I want to get the hardbacks to go with Sunrise on the Reaping, and then I think because they have a different font, which is so annoying, I will end up displaying it with the foiled cover, because the foiled cover is what stopped me from waiting actually to get it in paperback. I saw the full cover and I was like, okay, like I can deal with them not being matching if I have that foiled cover facing out. So yeah, once I get the Hunger Games, I think I will end up splitting it into adult and YA, because I also have like 3 adult hardbacks, adult fantasy hardbacks, and there's a lot of new releases that I want that I don't want to wait for hardbacks, which is partially why we got the big shelf that can fit hardbacks on. And the bottom shelf right now is just my Taylor Jenkins Reid and then a couple of just fiction hardbacks. I don't really have many fiction hardbacks, and to be honest, they're not books that I enjoyed enough to like go and get a paperback when I already have the hardback, because I feel like hardbacks can be really hard to get rid of. And then the final, like the proper bottom shelf at the moment, is just empty. And then next to this we just have my TBR cards, and the video that will be going out next week is completing my physical TBR. Well, not completing it, but a bit of a TBR takedown video, so you will see more of my TBR then. But yeah, I like having my TBR cart over here. Actually, I'm much preferring it to when it was in the corner, because I'm now forced to stare at my TBR and remind myself that I haven't read my TBR. That is my bookshelves all done. I'm so excited to have a book, like a big shelf. I've wanted one for so long. I feel like a big shelf is like every reader's dream. But yeah, I'm so excited for this to be the background of videos where I can sit on my bed and film, and so exciting. But thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so happy to be back and posting, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!